Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Who is that? George Gomez. Thank you so much. Thank you, George. No, my mic's not broke. I had the y'all can hear me now? No, my mic is not broke. I had my Bluetooth speaker on downstairs. Thank you. Yeah, I must have cut it off when I came upstairs. But I was saying a haiku. This is what's on the screen. A haiku is a Japanese poem consisting of 3 lines with a 5-syllable, 7-syllable, 5-syllable structure. So, like a word like intense, intense. That's 2 syllables, even though it's one word. So 5 syllables for the first line, 7 syllables for the second line, and 5 syllables for the third line. And the poem I wrote earlier, it met the other part of the definition, which is it traditionally focuses on nature and capturing a moment in time. Excuse me. So the poem I wrote earlier today, it met the criteria for nature and time, but it didn't meet the syllable criteria. And then I was thinking about a theme for a poem to write now with you guys, and that's when I came up with doing a haiku and speaking about how God is love, and in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and God was the Word. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, because that will take care of time and nature. Because in the beginning was God, and God made nature, and in the beginning was a point in time. So that's setting up for a real nice haiku with those two themes. And then I just got to be able to do the syllable part. And I will also like it to rhyme. So, thanks, George. George, are you gonna write a haiku so I can read it? This thing should come. Oh, the whole. It just cut off. That's weird. The screensaver usually just dies, not the TV turning off. Um, and nah, bro, I'm just a computer programmer. But anybody could write a haiku. You just gotta think. It is like a puzzle, like coding, because it has specific parameters and themes. So you just gotta stick with the theme and do the syllables. So I'm probably gonna get a little quiet now to try to think this through, because I would like to try to write one. So God is 1 syllable. God's God's timing. God's timing. So that's 3 syllables. God's timing. And I got 2 more syllables for the first line. Is good. So that should be 5 syllables. God's timing is good. Now I get 7 syllables to work with. All right. God's timing is good. God's love is moved by God's love is moved by rules. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm doing it. All right. So my first 5 syllables is God's timing is good. God's love is moved. And that's the first line. And then the second line. No. I said that wrong. Wait. God's timing beginning to end. But that doesn't really wow, the live froze. Bro, as soon as you said God's timing on live cut off, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's frozen. The timer is going, but my picture is frozen. So I'm not sure what's going on with it. Oh, and now, beginning to end. Let me write that down. But that last line, I'm thinking about switching it up some to make it more naturey. But it could also have something to do with the weather. Even though they say weather doesn't affect the internet, I beg to differ because I've seen it affect the internet. Like it could be doing it right now. It's like pouring outside. So beginning to end. Beginning to end. Now let's see how that sounds all together. So God's timing is good. God's love is moved by rules, beginning to end. It doesn't rhyme as much as I would have liked it to, but haikus don't have to rhyme. I remember that from like junior high school. And when I got put on to haikus in junior high school, I went on like a haiku. I don't know the right word for it, but I was writing quite a few haikus in junior high. I don't know what. Oh, there we go. So let's see. Weather definitely affects your internet if it's satellite. Are you on a laptop or desktop computer? I'm on a laptop. Could see your computer overheating. I'm doing a live through my phone though. I'm doing a live through my iPhone, and I'm in CT. Yeah, but even though the screen is frozen, the ticker is still ticking, so the audio may still be going good. And we don't really need the. Oh, then for sure it's the weather. Thanks for clarifying that, George. So I enjoyed the haiku. I can't really think of any other poetry formats specifically for writing poetry. But I am in the I'm in the zone now. I want to write more. Maybe I could challenge myself to do another haiku, but this one rhyming better. Well, not better, actually rhyming, because the last one didn't. So I'm gonna try to do that. That'll be a challenge. Because I could like, because I write songs. So I've been writing songs and just freestyling, which is like making rap songs off of the top of your head without writing them down or sitting there doing a rhyme in your head and then saying it. You're like literally just letting the rhyme flow out of your mouth. So I've done that since elementary school. So just writing a poem comes really naturally and easy for me, but doing a structured format like a haiku that adds more of a challenge. So I'm gonna see what I could do with that now. So we got the 5 syllables. Mm. And if we stay true to the haiku, we also need the nature and catching a moment in time element. And you know what's beautiful? There's a lot of nature and moment in time elements that come with the scripture. So if I could think of a biblical scene, and one is coming to me now with Samson and Delilah when she cut his locks. So like something with that scene. All right. Stroke my locks, don't stop. Oh, that's not working. Time to grab the notepad. What did I say? I liked what I said. But now I gotta remember it. Like stroke my locks, don't stop. Or twist my locks. No, stroke. Stroke is good. Stroke Hmm. Okay, until I see the visual come back on, the next time the screen goes off, I'm gonna just let it go off. And I'm gonna read my poem one more time that I wrote earlier today. Prayer in a deep fog, inhaling a captive mist, but exhaling a fiery bliss through prayers that can't miss. Oh, so stroke my locks, don't stop. Twist till pops. Twist till pops. Twist till pops. A a three strand heart. Twist till pops a three strand heart. Okay, so that's 575. Broken plots. Broken plots. Broken plots. Broken plots. I got two more syllables on that one. So far I got for the first line, stroke my locks, don't stop. Twist till pops a three strand heart. Broken plots. Broken plots. I wanted to say don't stop, but maybe that's it. It rhymes, but in rhyming, you don't want to say the same word twice. You can, but it's not good form. Stroke my locks, don't stop. Twist till pops a three strand heart. Broken plots. Broken plots. A chop. No, heart and stop. Stop. Broken plots. That's the stop in the heart. Mm. Broken plots. Strokes. And broken plots. I got the last word, but I want to use the word art, but I need a word in between the that fourth syllable. I need a word for that fourth syllable in the third line of the haiku. But I like art. So let me write that down before I forget. And I just gotta fill in it. I just gotta fill that in. Because broken plots blank art or make art. That's one syllable. All right. Stroke my locks, don't stop. Twist till pops. A three-strand heart. Broken plots make art. I did it. I got a rhyming haiku. So that's five. First line, second line, third line. Don't stop. Twist till pops. A three-strand heart. Broken plots make art. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Uh-oh. That's two. That's 2 for 2. That's two haikus back to back. Let me read my first one. God's timing is good. God's love is moved by rules, begging to end. Mm. Uh-oh. All right. So now I'm just going to write a regular poem. They're coming down my block. Oh, they stopping on my block. Yeah, they stopped on my block. Let me go do the responsible neighbor. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta make sure that I know what's going on. Yeah, I can't see from my windows. I can't see from my windows. That's my cue to stay in the house because I can't see what's going on. Um, and if there was anything I could do to help, it probably would have been before the sirens. So now the screen just went totally black. Maybe it'll reload itself. Let me try the front camera, back camera, switcheroo and see if it clicks back on. That's the back camera. Yeah, that was all my jewelry design stuff over there. Got some stuff I'm working on. So yeah, hi, welcome back, everybody. Well, I'm back. Uh, that was weird. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying this. Um, and I really liked the biblical theme, and I think I'm gonna go with Samson and Delilah again. That's such an epic story for so many reasons. But the main theme, I believe in that. Well, I don't want to put one over the other. Um, like idolizing women in that type of way, that's important not to do because you can see what happened to Samson. And then we got his strength in the end. Even without his sight, his faith was strong enough for him to make that whole square collapse, where they were mocking him and in turn mocking God. But yeah, they're not, yeah. So I want to write about Delilah and Samson. There is a scripture about how does I don't have the scripture, but it said something about taking the things of heaven and trying to, well, like taking the words basically of the Bible and rewriting them in your own this, that, or the other. And that did cross my mind earlier about just this whole theme of writing poems about our relationship with the Most High and how we feel about the words of the Most High. And after thinking about it, I believed in my heart, I could feel in my heart that it's okay as long as you're not mocking or taunting or disrespecting the gospel or trying to claim the words as your own. And I didn't see those type of connections, so I felt comfortable with doing a live like this and seeing how it goes. And if people are enjoying it, I know this is the type of stuff I like, so I would keep doing it for for me and the people who like it, and also to praise the Lord, because I do see this as a form of praise. You'll probably have to restart your live, or your connection might be too weak. Uh, RN for video streaming, George Gomez. For sure, idolizing women will be your downfall. Reminded me of King Solomon's story. Wisest man to have ever lived, only for lust to take him down. What's also deep about Solomon is even with him taking on more wives, that didn't necessarily have to be his downfall. His downfall came because the women that he was pursuing had other gods than his own. So when he took those women on who had these other gods, that eventually corrupted him. And that's a tough predicament to be in, because if you accept a woman of another religion, basically, and she's in your environment, basically, do you have her renounce her religion to be with you? Because if not, what is she to do? Worship her God in secret? That's deceit. So in all fairness, a good-hearted person and a person with wisdom would know you don't deny a person worship of their gods. So now, if you accept this person and they're worshiping their God in your presence, and then they want to start putting up idols here and there and everywhere because they praising their God, which they love because that's their God, you know. All right, but you got to do that over there, like outside of my kingdom, outside of my kingdom, because we praise Yah, the Most High, Abba Father, God, the one true living God, and also through His Son Jesus Christ, which is one and the same. That's the energy we on. So if you have someone who's not on that same energy, and you take them on as a wife, then it's in your face, and eventually it took him over. And I can't say, oh, I wouldn't have fell off. Well, first off, I would have hoped that I had the wisdom to accept what the Most High said in the first place, not to take these women on because they have different gods, and then to also have the strength to, most likely it would have had to been to admit I was wrong and banish those whoever don't serve the same God that I serve, because you don't have to be praising their God to see their idols and their monuments and their um, shrines or whatever they have everywhere around you. And then you're laying with that person. If that's your wife, you're not withholding from her. She's not withholding from you. You mixing. So, yeah, it wasn't so much him wanting more wives. Like with David, he told David, if you wanted more wives, I would have gave you more wives. Um, in Solomon's case, it was that his additional wives had other gods. Um, yeah, and I'm still learning more about lust. It is of the flesh, but when you think about it, is it beyond the flesh? The devil lusted to be like God. Lust could go beyond sexual desire. So to say it's just a human trait, that's they say it happens first in the heavens before it manifests in the physical. It happens first in the spiritual before it manifests in the physical. And then we are made in the Most High's image, and then being made in the Most High's image, that most likely comes with a lot of those emotions, that they may not be purely human. Like, it's noted that the Most High has a sense of humor, amongst other emotions. So That word lust, that's a whole case study when it comes to how we should be living our lives and what's realistic and what's unrealistic. That's where we get into that territory of honesty. Yeah, I did not know that, but it does make sense for lust to take you down from within. Oh, absolutely. Woo! It does more than make sense. That's been my story a couple of times, unbeknownst, until I reflect. Because if I'm attracted to someone, to a woman, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm lusting for her, but she's attractive. That like I'm looking at her. That's the first thing, and then I want to talk to her, and then I talk to her, and then if I'm blessed enough to have that relationship, I have the relationship. And then later on, I'm thinking, and it's like, yeah, you was feeling how she looked. That's why you approached her. But was that lust or attraction? So now let's think. Um, now, you have a woman in your presence. You don't want to hear nothing she want to say. You just trying to smash. Yeah, that's like the type of nasty lust that mm-mm, you know that ain't right. But seeing an attractive woman, where do you say, okay, this is just attraction, not lust? You're looking at how beautiful she looks on the outside. How much of those thoughts are you imagining the two of you together physically versus how much are you thinking where her head is at? Wanting to know what she's thinking, her desires, um, basically for a future. And I'm not going to stunt. Like, I don't want to say helpless romantic and categorize myself in terms, but yeah, I do be thinking about future when I see a beautiful woman. Like, yeah, this could possibly be, the woman to help me to bring more children in the world and learn more about the Most High with and do beautiful things with and create beautiful things with. I be thinking about those things. And yeah, I do be thinking about smashing as well. She looked good. That's why I was attracted to her in the first place. But does that make me lustful? Now, I did give that example that if all I'm thinking about is getting physical with her, yeah, that's a nasty lust. And I wouldn't want nobody looking at no one I care about like that. Just physically, no. So since I don't like it, I don't do it. I absolutely 100% agree with you. It is a tricky situation because if she's able and willing to simply denounce her faith, religion, she will probably do the same with your religion. For sure, idolizing women will be your. Yep, I read that. You'll probably have to. Oh yeah, I thought about that, but um, whenever I do a live, I kind of I wanna interact with the people. However, I'm thinking once I save it, it'll be there for whoever clicks on. So I once it starts, that's pretty much how I look at it. And then with it acting up the way it did, it may not come back on. That's what my mother used to say. Don't touch that TV, boy. If it don't come back on, I'm like, mommy, you never cut that TV off. Not never. Nope. I'm like, all right. Um. Yeah. So Samson and Delilah. Mm. Oh, and his strength in his hair. That's also that the Levites, they fascinate. They fast. I don't want to say fascinate, but yeah, I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated because there was a oath when he was born for him not to cut his hair. And the tribe, I do believe his tribe is of the Levites, and it wasn't just a oath just for him. It was actually a tradition within that sanction of the Levites that that particular priesthood, they didn't cut their hair. So, hmm. And it's only their eyes and communication that you end up falling in love with. Then you get to see her. Mm. Woo. Hold up. So you would say, so would you say all or most relationships start off of lust? It's her sexual appearance that first attracts you to her. Maybe that's why Muslims have their women covered up. Very deep. I did not know that. Okay, let's go back to this. So, would you say all, not all, or most? Yes, I would say most relationships start off of lust. Now, is that lust or attraction when you see an attractive woman? Where does your mind go initially? I've trained myself for my mind not to go to putting a body in positions in my head. I've trained myself not to do that. Had I not trained myself not to do that, I would be doing that. I would be like imagining me touching parts, me doing things. Just from as soon as I see her, she look attractive to me. My brain start going. I trained myself not to do that the same way I trained myself not to touch myself. Um, so will I take lust completely out of it? No, because I am sizing her up to a certain degree. Like, would I want to mate with her? Would I want to have children with her? Would I want to see her every single day? I'm asking myself those questions. Would I want to see her in the nighttime? Would I want to see her in the daytime when we wake up? Um, Wherever I go, would I want her with me? Um, and I'm the type of guy, I like my woman by my side. Yes, women need time. Yes, I'm going to need time. We got business to take care of. But that's pretty much enough time for me. Taking care of business. By that time, I want to see my boo. Um, by the time I'm done taking care of business, I want to be next to my woman. So I'm looking at how she looks, um, but not necessarily her bent over. So let's see. So would you say all or most relationships start off of lust? Yeah, most. I don't think most people train themselves not to imagine people in um, certain positions when they first see them. That's not love at first sight. That's lust at first sight. Um, Her sexual appearance that first attracts you to her. Yeah, most likely. Maybe that's why Muslims uh but then also in those regions that actually helps with the dust and all of that, but I think it is more spiritual and religious that they have those coverings. And would I be am I in support of that? I'm in support of what the scripture says. And I don't see it in there, but I do see head coverings in there. And Yeah, hair does attract. Hair definitely does attract. Maybe if women had their hairs covered, their hair wouldn't be falling out. Um, but I think it's mostly for women for when they're in community, especially when they're speaking the word. And as far as women speaking the word go, there's too many instances in the Bible with women spreading the word, but it also doesn't suffer a woman to teach the word. So she don't have to be out there doing that. But if she is going to be doing that, it should be appropriate. Like, what are you calling yourself when you're doing it? Because I don't think that any person should be knowingly contradicting the Bible. That's why we pray for the sins that we don't know we're committing, because you can have a conviction in your heart that you're doing the right thing. But if the Bible's telling you right there in your face, that's the wrong thing. And this ain't even an implication, like you're not implying it. For example, our bodies are our temples. So we don't want to pollute our temples. So that crosses out a whole lot of things that we shouldn't be putting in our bodies. Automatically crosses out a lot of stuff that we do put into our bodies knowingly, willingly. Okay. So we strive for perfection, and we pray for help to make the right decisions. But when it clearly says don't do something, we got to have a certain level of not a certain level of respect. It's best just not to do it and not make excuses. But you could look at the instances with the where women were spreading the word. Like at the well, when the woman left the well to spread the word, Christ didn't tell her to go do it, but he knew what she was running off to do, and he surely didn't stop her. And I do believe that he knew before he even got to the well that she was going to be a vessel to spread the word, and also a major impact on her life. That whole conversation was deep. Oh my gosh. I even put it in one of my songs to a certain degree. Woo! You have 5 husbands. Oh, let me not laugh. Let me not laugh. Let me not laugh. Told her she had 5 husbands. Oh man. Seems like we set ourselves up for failure. Huh? Hold up. And it's only their eyes and communication that you end up falling in love with. Then you get to see her. Well, it's not really just the eyes and the communication, because you can see a shape, and if she wants you to see a shape, you're going to see a shape. And you still get to see her height. You can make a couple, you can make a few assumptions, a little bit better than an assumption. You could deduce quite a few things through those veils. Um, Seems like we set ourselves up for failure. Yeah, if we don't, not if, yeah, yeah. A lot of the times, it seems like we do, men and women. And this is why when a child is raised up in the right way, they won't depart from the Lord, or the chances that they will are greatly decreased. And that helps with a lot of this stuff. Yeah, it leaves a lot up to the imagination, but a couple funky dope maneuvers, and like I said, you're gonna see way more than was intended. And that's the same thing like this country right here in the dress and how people dress. Even a woman that's dressed modestly, if she's, I could say, voluptuous in certain areas, it's but so much she's going to be able to do. if she's if she has large parts, and the same thing for a guy, like it's but so much a guy could do if he has after a certain level of muscle mass is showing, and after a certain width, length, and girth, the things going on down there, it's kind of hard to hide that too. So you could be presenting yourself modestly, but if those parts are pronounced, it gets to a point. After a certain level, it's hard. It's really not much you could do. Anybody who's looking to see that, they're gonna see it, and that also counts for the veils. Ooh, I just got a crazy first line. If locks could bleed, if locks could bleed, if locks could bleed, would you cut me? When hearts don't grow, can you love me? Grow or no? Hmm. I'm gonna go with grow. It goes with the theme. When hearts don't grow, can you love me? That might be a haiku. I gotta check. 575. How can a man not lust over what? Somebody's wife. That's the easiest thing in the world to do when he doesn't know. Oh, that's the spirits. Because women know when a man is looking in that type of way at them. And there's things a married woman could do to overt that behavior or evert, to rebuke to rebuke that man, to rebuke the way he's looking at her. And you can rebuke without even saying it out loud. Women know how to give you the cold shoulder if you coming off with a lustful spirit in your eyes. The same way they got eyes, we got eyes too. And a woman could see it in a man's eyes when he's lusting. Hold on a sec. LOL, but then again, who decides what a modest way of dressing gets to be? I decide. I decide. We do not dress how we used to years and years ago. Seems like modesty is going downhill. It's a spirit. Modesty is a spirit. You either got it or you don't. Because you should know that if you stacked, not even if you stacked, because it's all different levels of attraction. So as soon as you put on spandex or tights or whatever that you want to call them, bubblegum jeans, whatever you want to call them, if it's skin tight and you don't got your butt covered, you are attracting the wrong attention. Now there's environments for that. Gym, you're going jogging. I would recommend sweatpants because you're out in public. Nobody should be seeing what your husband that belongs to your husband, and vice versa. If you know you're gonna be in your work, like for a guy, if you know you're gonna be working out, you might want to wear the tighties and then put on your sweatpants. Don't put on boxers and then put on your sweatpants because you're gonna be swinging and it's gonna be everywhere. And the women, if it's women around, they're gonna see it swinging around like an elephant trunk. You gotta know what he's doing. So modesty is knowing these things and acting accordingly, not just going out like it's cool. It's not cool. So how would a woman dress? She would wear a shawl if she wants to wear body skin tight stuff. Cover yourself. Put a they got those and they come in different textures for different weather, or just wear something more modest overall. But if you have to wear something skin tight, you need to break out some covering for that skin tight outfit. Don't just walk out the house causing problems, could get your man killed because certain dudes is not having it. For real, for real. And then another dude could think there's something sweet because you let your woman leave the house like that in the first place. So when he start acting ridiculous, you should know you brought that on yourself. So he's probably thinking you already know what's up, that we gonna be hollering because you let her leave the house like that in the first place. Versus modesty. Um, how can a man not lust over someone's wife when he doesn't know it's someone's wife and she's putting on a show? Hmm. Yeah, that's that Jezebel spirit. No good comes from that. It's horrible, and that's a shame. And these people should thank Jesus, because if it was not for Jesus, that woman could be taken into the square and stoned. And any man, sorry for him, but he should have did his homework, because he'll get stoned too. Take them both out there and stone them. and people talking about, oh, I believe in God, but I don't believe in Jesus. You need to be thankful for some be thankful for some Jesus. Definitely be thankful for some, because if it was not for some Jesus, people will be out here getting stoned straight up and down for that same thing you just said right there. People want to put on a show. Oh, we got a show. We got a show in the town square at this designated time. They probably don't even wait more than a day. They probably don't even wait 24 hours. Like, not long after the act. So I wrote so far, if locks could bleed, would you cut me? When hearts don't grow, can you love me? Oh, I wanted to see if that was a haiku. If locks, locks, locks. If locks could bleed, would. Nope, you already messed up because the first line has to have 5 syllables, and my first line has if locks could bleed. That's only 4 syllables. But so far, I like what's happening with that. It's making me think. How can a man not lust over someone's? Ooh, Lord have mercy. Some scary stuff there. And hold up a sec. And it makes me think of something. Is acknowledging someone's wife is beautiful in appearance, acknowledging that you lusted after her? Now, well, my answer to that is no. Anyone who can appreciate beauty just has what do you call it? A sense of I don't want to say art, an appreciation of beauty. Now, if you're imagining her in sexual ways, that's where you cross the line. But do most men have that discipline? I don't think so, not without the training. So you can't necessarily compliment another man's woman because that man may not even have ever imagined that beauty could be appreciated without sexual thoughts. So unless you really know that the person that you're having a conversation with is on a higher spiritual level, you may not want to compliment his woman to him or to her on anything that has to do with looks, because the first thing that him or her could think is that you're lusting. When that could be the farthest thing from the truth. You're just complimenting the beauty that you appreciate. But some people don't. They're not there. I was already there as a teenager. When it comes to stuff like that, and any of my boys' girls, like we had attractive women, not women. We had attractive girlfriends. And I knew better than to look at my friends' girls that way. True, but in this hyper sexualized society, it's tough. Things are way too crazy in 2025. True, but in this hypersexualized society. Oh, yeah, it's crazy. You can't even watch you can't watch anything or you're gonna be exposed. And if you slip up in your feed, if you slip up in your feed, you'll be getting they'll think that's what you're into and then you keep on getting that type of content. So if you that's not what you're into, don't search it. Um be careful before you press enter. Because if the algorithm thinks you're into a certain thing, then that's it. It's gonna start sending you that type of stuff. And then something happened to me. Well, it's been happening for a long time, but it kind of got on my nerves because I was thinking about something, and then of course I was getting advertisements for it. And then I'm trying to think, okay, is there any way I revealed this in the physical, what I was thinking about in the spiritual? And I'm backtracking, and I had no clues of what I could have done to reveal what my thoughts was for my device to be showing it back to me. And this I did hear a new breed speak about brain to skull technology, and then even prior to him saying it, but he when I listen to him, he just brings so many things to forefront. And gets me thinking about it all over again. And then he always has more insight to add on to it. Just a lot of food for thought. So I was already aware of the brain to skull. I'm saying brain to skull interface, whatever they're using to penetrate your, your dome piece, whether it's putting information in or taking information out. There's a certain level of technology that we have reached where they're able to do that to certain levels. Now, to exact what level, I don't know. But for me to be going through stuff like that, I do believe it's because it's advanced to that level. So now a lot of our thoughts are not even our own thoughts. And then a lot of our thoughts that are our own thoughts, they're able to monitor them. So it's like no privacy. Hello. So on one end, I'm already happy that I have the type of heart and mindset that I have because I'm not, what's the right word? It doesn't really bother me that much because I already know that my thoughts are pure, at least to my knowledge. For the things that I have control over that I know better of. That's why I try to dig as deep into the word as I can to get help to make sure that my thoughts is right. But beyond that, I mean, where it does get a little annoying is if like I'm thinking about something that has to do with my jewelry making, and then the thing that I'm thinking, then I see it. It's like, come on, like, like what are you? You're just distracting. Number one, and number two, like you don't have to be so obvious that you're inside my head and showing me what I'm thinking. Like leave me alone. Um, but beyond the annoying part, like I said, I'm not sitting here thinking crazy stuff. uh, so it doesn't really. It's intrusive, but what like for sure. True, but in this hypersexualized world, yeah, you can't watch nothing these days without it being inappropriate. For sure, constant stimuli will have you chasing and doing things you're not even wanting if you were to sit down and really think about it. Yeah, that reminds me of when I was in I think I was a freshman. No, I wasn't a freshman. I was in high school. I was thinking about freshman in college. I was a senior. No, I wasn't even a senior yet. Nowhere near. I was in my second year of high school, and I used to drink every day, but I didn't know I was drinking every day until one of these older females that I was talking to pointed it out, and I was like, "Wow." She said, "Do you really?" No, she said, "How did she put it?" It was more like a taunt, like, dang, you guys come over here and y'all drink like every day. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, first off, I'm not here every day. Secondly, um, yeah, first off, I'm not here every day. So that was the first thought that went through my head. But then the second thought was, okay, when was the last time I didn't have a drink? Okay. And I couldn't remember the last time I didn't have a drink. So it was like, it was a shame. So at that point, I stopped, not completely, but I started spacing it out. Like I wouldn't drink every day after that. And yeah, it was from just constantly going, not really sitting down and thinking about what I'm doing every single day. And yeah, yes, I do still drink to this day, but I fast from it, amongst other things. Like after a certain amount of time, if you notice, oh, I've been drinking the last few days, take a break. Like you don't have to drink every day. Um, some people enjoy a glass of wine post dinner or with their dinner every day. And I do believe that the antioxidants that are involved with wine consumption up to a glass, um, and of course the right selections to go with your meals, it makes it more enjoyable. But I don't want to give the wrong advice because I am a medical professional. And the last time I checked, any more than 3 cups per week, I gotta start. I gotta start. I gotta start. What would be the right word for it? Um, you're not in good standing at this point. I gotta do my counseling. I have to do something. I need to do an intervention because by medical standards, from what I was taught, you should not be having more than 3 drinks a week. 3 drinks is the limit. So, and I'm not telling you that as your medical professional. I'm not on here to do a medical expose. Um, I thought about doing like a health channel and call in and I'll be your actual provider, but I don't want to um I don't want to mess with that because I don't want to say because of liabilities. I'm not afraid. My skills when it comes to medicine is where they need to be able to get paid independently for what I know. But taking on that responsibility on a YouTube level or a social media level, um, just my presentations alone would take away from the other things I'm doing. So the same way I did this live, if I really wanted to do something, because this is different. I haven't done anything with poetry specifically until tonight on YouTube that I could remember. I don't think so. But it would be something similar if I wanted to do something within the realm of medicine. I would have something that I wanted to present and then meditate on it, pray on it, and all of the good stuff. And then I would just drop it. But then I know at that point that I drop it, I got to be ready and open to everything that could come with that, which is taking on the health responsibilities of everybody who's interested. And the type of person that I am when it comes to medicine, my heart is 100% in it. I'm not going to let go. And I need cooperation from the people who want the help, or else whatever I'm doing with them is not going to be effective. And then that could start to be draining because I'm following up, making sure that you're following the regimens that I set forth in order for it to be effective. And then it's a lot of work. Um, the compensation is great when you're working in that field. However, the responsibility is extremely high, and the toll it takes on your heart and your mind when you're doing it with your heart is high. And I do it not only with my mind but also with my heart, which they teach you not to do in school for good reason. If you're taking it personal, take a day off and come back with your tough skin and your game face on, because if the skin ain't tough, you're gonna burn out faster. So yeah, how do we get into that? For sure, constant stimuli will have you chasing and doing things you're not even wanting if you were to sit down and really think about it. Yeah, that's how we got into that. I sat down and really thought about it. I said, hold on, the health channel. I'll show you how to cook some plant-based food, and I think I'll stop there. But yeah, so I've yeah, that's what I do. If I notice I had like a drink one day, a drink the next day, a drink the next day, a drink the next day, I say, you know what? Time to fast. And then I just will stop drinking and until I feel like having another drink. I don't have to like, oh, I'm not drinking. I'm not. Nah, it ain't even that kind of party. If I want to have a drink, I'm gonna have a drink. But if I see I'm doing it every day for multiple days, then I say, up, time to stop, time to take a break, time to fast off of that. Excuse me, the nosy nose. Mm. So if locks could bleed, would you cut me? When hearts don't grow, can you love me? The pages are even cold. The pages are even cold because you lost me. This is not sounding like Samson and Delilah at this point. The pages are even cold because you lost me. All right, that just got my brain going now. Oh, all right. Peace, George. It was definitely um Nice hanging out with you this tonight. I have to go have some practice exams. Oh, knock them out. I have to do. Really enjoyed this conversation. Wouldn't have expected it from the way the live first started. LOL. Yeah, I, s- I subbed. I'll be back. Oh, thank you for subscribing around on One Your Lives. Thank you. All right, do your thing with your practice exams. Thanks for coming through. So, if locks could bleed, would you cut me? When hearts don't grow, can you love me? The pages are even cold because you lost me. That's the true dread. That's the true dread. That's the true dread. Well, that's the true dread. Hmm. So wow, I was really hoping I was gonna um read some other poems tonight from people. So on the playback, it would have been nice to see what you guys wrote and to read it. You lost me. That's the true dread. If locks could bleed, would you cut me? When hearts don't grow, can you love me? The pages are even cold because you lost me. That's the true dread. I thought I had another line, but the way that ended is kind of hard right there. I kind of like that ending. I thought I had another line after that one, but reading it again, that ends nice. If locks could bleed, would you cut me? When hearts don't grow, can you love me? The pages are even cold because you lost me. That's the true dread. Ross Clyde. All right, and then my haiku. Stroke my locks, don't stop. Twist till pops. A three-strand heart. Broken plots make art. Mm. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Oh my gosh, look how long. Mm. Who knew? This reminds me of writing. This reminds me of this of being in the studio session, writing lyrics. That's how the time go. You be in the zone. Next thing you know, it be getting light outside. You be like, say word. Did that really just happen? Did we just really break day? Yup. Time fly when you having fun. I keep giving y'all my ear, my back. I would try to see how I could set up my cameras better for my lives. This is the best I've been coming up with for lately. But all right, I'm about to end it. Thanks everybody for coming through, and I'm definitely considering doing this again. I did have a lot of fun, especially speaking with George, and also just doing the poetry. So hopefully people um, write some haikus for the next time and they could read them. I did want it to be more of a freestyle type of thing. Like you see, the poems I wrote just now, besides the one I wrote this morning, which I didn't read again. The one I wrote this morning is at 8:37 a.m. is prayer in a deep fog, inhaling a captive mist, but exhaling a fiery bliss through prayers that can't miss. Woo-wee. I like that. But that was now I can't even remember. However, that was this morning. And I was like, for sure I want to do something later on with poetry and the most high. You know, everything is with the most high, but you know, like most high centered, like poetry type of creation with the people. So I'll be looking forward to some feedback on the live in the comments about how everybody's feeling about doing more of this. And then also, kind of like I said, I'm most likely gonna do um, this again because it was so much fun. But it would be more fun with more people doing poetry. So that's pretty much it. Um, peace, love, and safety.